Hi, how are you? This is Dr. Damaris Maria Grossman, and this is the Mindfully Integrative Show. Today, we have an amazing mindful chat with Leigh Ankrum. She is 30 plus years in body work, health work, and helping herself and other clients. And I can't wait for you to meet her and talk with her today. Thanks so much, Leigh, for being on.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate your time and, kind of diving into, things that you'd like to discuss. But first off, I always say a kind of quick fun fact that people don't know about you.
Well, most people don't know that I absolutely love the ballroom dance, all kinds of ballroom dancing.
And do you ballroom dance like on the regular, like every day, like once a week? Do you like compete too?
Well, I have competed and I ballroom dance. I actually have two-hour lessons a week. And so I dance for 4 hours every week. So I
Oh,
love it. Love
that's
it. I've been
great.
dancing about 11 years. Yeah, love it, love
11.
it.
Oh my God. Do you wear the outfits too? Like I went to an event and I remember they were as another ballroom dancing event. I think it was like a convent, must have been a competition. And we like snuck in there to like just look at your outfits. I was like, this is so neat. I can't dance
Well,
a lick of my, I mean, I'm like such a bad dancer, but I like just the music and fun.
it is fun, very fun. And yes, when I compete, I do wear those outfits, sort of fringy, kind of colorful, that whole
I
thing.
know, but they're so I'm just impressed with the posture and the way that people it's cool. It's very cool.
Pretty
So
wonderful.
my next part of that is what's your favorite dance?
Oh, I used to think that my favorite dance was doing like the salsa or something. But once I started studying, really working with the waltz and the foxtrot, oh my God, I love those dances. They are
Hmm.
so much fun. They really, really are. So I always thought that I wanted to do all the Latins, which I do
Right.
do, but I do them all comparably. But I really love waltz and foxtrot a lot.
That's cool. Oh my God, I'm telling you, I think I feel like I have two left feet. So I wouldn't even be able to
Mhm.
like, I'm like, okay, a box, that's about the most you got out of me. So let's get into kind of a little bit about yourself. So how is I know I call this integrative health space, whole space. You're in body work. What got you into that? What got you into kind of that work and that line of work?
Well, the funny thing is, I kind of make the joke because I get asked, how did I get into this a lot? And
Mm-hmm.
I have this functional school of body work. And, at the beginning of the school, I always talk about, I have everybody talk about themselves. I talk about myself.
Yeah.
And I always make this kind of joke that says I didn't get in from an altruistic sort of standpoint, is that I sort of like this guy and I followed his lead. He wanted to take a massage class, but it was something so much bigger than that leading me to it. Something led me to this. And once I became a massage therapist, I went to a small class and then I became a massage therapist. I still wasn't clear that this was my path, but what I kept doing and what I hope people will do for themselves in whatever their path is to say yes. So I went and began to do after I graduated from massage school. This was in 1987. I began to take other classes and study about pain patterns, and how to help people in that way. And I just kind of kept saying yes, and then people kept telling me about more classes. And so I was educating myself hard on for many, many years. But at one point, probably after I graduated from massage school, it was about 3 or 4 months later, I went, leap, do it. Trust that you can do this for your living and your life. And I did. And oh my gosh, it's been the most amazing 35-year journey. It has been an amazing journey for me. And I kept studying higher and deeper levels until I finally, after I was a massage therapist about 15, 16 years, I had studied Rolfing and lymphatic work and all these different facets of health and work. I actually went and became studied at a French osteopathic school in Canada, and it was a
Amazing.
5-year program. So I was commuting up to Canada to do this
You did five
program.
years of osteopath medicine. So you're
I
really
did.
Dr. Leigh Ankrum.
Well, not really. I mean, I
But
can't call myself.
in the body work world, I mean,
Yes,
doctorate is about extensive studies. So you don't have to have a
yes.
doctorate. It depends. So I would say, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I did that, and that changed everything. Your whole integrative mindset is so right on and so amazing because, and I was just talking to a client about this. How can you pluck something out and only look at something out of context without looking at the whole picture of how something works and how it integrates and how the systems of ourselves, whether it's emotional, whether it's organ, whether it's lymphatic, whether it's anxiety, whatever it is, and how all of that all works together. How can I pluck that out? I mean, if we get to the point where, of course, I'm talking about PTSD and all of that, you know,
Hmm.
um, that affects those kinds of things. Any of those kind of things are affecting every system of the body. And
Yeah.
people don't seem to understand that. So the sad part about regular medicine is we're looking in isolated things. And I'm
Right.
so grateful that my education started to go from isolated to
Yep.
starting to
To an
open
open.
and back up. You know what I mean, don't
Oh,
you?
I absolutely do. I wouldn't have started this podcast if I didn't. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
between the podcast and working on my own health, I health journey, it would have never come to fruition if I hadn't. Yeah, I completely agree. And you even started your own and we'll go into that, your functional bodywork school
Cool.
because you
Right.
have because of your need and passion for change.
Well, and I've been teaching at smaller levels with smaller uh, amounts of time, teaching a 1 week class or a weekend class. And I did that for years and years. So I've been teaching well over 30 years, probably 33 years, something like that. But in 2016, I opened a full-fledged licensed school here in Oklahoma, which we can talk about later. But I did that. It was like this program, how to do a functional, holistic, integrative program came out of me in 2016,
My God,
definitely.
it's a whole new baby right there, probably. The amount of
Totally.
you have kids, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's like a child then. I would say that's a whole it's a
Oh, I would say
birthing
that too.
process there.
I would say that too.
Well,
Definitely.
congratulations on that and love to chat with that further. So when you were doing and going through this massage work, do you also get massage work too? Because I ask a lot of massage. I was wondering, do you get body work done?
When I first was a massage therapist, I got massage all the time, all the time, all the time for
Mm-hmm.
years.
Hmm.
And when I started to go into having higher levels of body work, studying it myself,
Right.
then my body didn't crave massage anymore. It
Gotcha.
craved something more sophisticated that's working with how the body really works.
Gotcha.
And so I have to say that in the last, with, so I have my students and my graduates, my students who are further along work on me. So I get work
Gotcha.
from my graduates, from my students, but the work is so
More on the
totally
energetic
different.
side
Right,
and the
right,
spiritual side. You take it to another level beyond the consciousness.
way, way. So,
Awesome.
you know, because I'm not teaching, I'm definitely not teaching how to do massage in my school. That
No,
is
no, I
not
bet
what's
you
happening.
aren't. I bet you are not.
No, that's not what's happening. So,
No,
so
no.
I do get body work, but I get it a little more haphazardly than I used in the beginning. In the
Gotcha.
beginning, it's like, oh yeah, I want to be massaged all the time, all the time. And
Hmm.
that kind of shifted out as I grew in my own sophistication in the work and stuff.
And that shows the expansion. I can understand where you're coming from on that end to see what there's beyond. Um, how have you felt? I mean, obviously you've evolved through the years, and then now you not only have clients but you have students. What's the most profound techniques or things that you like to talk to your clients or your students about?
One of the things that I do with that I teach really big is that I start off my training, which is a little over 2 years long. I start my training with the principles of how a body works. So, so there are principles that we truly, truly, how we function on these principles. But one of the things that I teach the students is that, and then I say it to them, and then I go about trying to teach them how to learn this, is that here's the deal. The treatment plan is in the body. So I don't have like, oh, here's my favorite technique. Although, cranial sacral is part of the training, and there's a bit of lymphatics, there's a bit of, there's muscle energy, which is a technique, a certain kind of technique, putting joints back together with muscle and different things like that. But how do I know what's right for you? Your body has to tell me, based upon the symptoms that you tell me, what I perceive when I look at you, what I perceive when I watch you walk, and what I also get perceptively when I touch you. So all of those things marry together, your history, your symptoms, all of those marry together for your system, your body to tell me or any of the practitioners from my school, what is the treatment plan? What is the place I'm supposed to start to come in to help you with what's going on? And here's the other thing I'm really big on is that we as practitioners never fix anybody. It's not about fixing. It's always about helping the innate health and wellness in the person to come out and help them. It's always about connecting to that innate place that exists within all of us to help you back to health. So how can I ego wise say that I fix anybody? So it's not that. So within that dynamic, of course, I'm looking at the treatment plan that's in you. So is yours is particular to you. So there
That's so
isn't any
important to say. Yeah, no, I think that the personalized approach and looking that each one is different is important because, and then I think it's really an also element that you're saying there is each person needs to empower themselves or teach them their innate nature of understanding their body. Um, that can be probably pretty the amount of emotions that may come up for those individuals when they're trying to learn about themselves.
Mm,
I mean,
well,
you're an additional therapist, but not a therapist, you know?
right, right. Well, I oftentimes send people to therapists,
Right.
often.
Right. On top
And
of
then
that. Right.
oftentimes you also see the people that don't want to do that aren't willing to to actually take that self responsibility because that is what a therapeutic relationship is. It's
Right.
not the therapeutic relationship is not I do to you and then that's done. It's the therapeutic relationship is we are coming together, working in relationship to help, to help you. So I hear
That
you.
makes sense. Yeah, no, I definitely in agreement with your work and it sounds amazing. I love for you to chat with me about your functional school. And first off, you said you started it 2016?
Did did.
Okay. And what inspired you to get to that point? Like, and, to say, hey, you know what? I need to birth this beautiful school and do more than just where I'm at.
Um, that's a great question. Well, for many, many years, I've been doing cranial sacral training,
Hmm.
cranial sacral therapy training, and teaching, and I've assisted like different programs in different parts, even of the world. So I've assisted in, you know, England, and I taught in Italy and assisted in other places, Canada, Jamaica, all sorts of places. And so I was doing cranial trainings here in Tulsa. That would be that met every other month for a weekend and stuff like this. And then it happened that I kind of got asked to actually. Okay, so I'll be really honest with you. The truth was is that the state of Oklahoma came to me and said, "We need you to become licensed." And that was like one of those, once again, spirit deals, just like this guy who comes and says, you have to get licensed. And so when I had to get licensed, I had to put together a program for licensure, and
Right.
this was born. And
But
it
that's
has been
awesome. It's supposed to be. That's like you said,
totally,
someone told you it needed to be done.
it needed to be done. Even though it kind of looked like it needed to be done from the law side of things, it really turned into this amazing thing.
But now it like see how many people that you're impacting in between the education and then the clients that they're impacting and the ripple effect that because one conversation or one message
Mhm.
that you give to your student or to your client, then that probably can make so much change in individuals. And then their perspective is different. I mean, you being on this podcast, I'm hoping that someone can listen and say, "Oh, wow, like there's more to, my body than just what can I do for this pain or what can I do for like what is an area." I mean, like you're saying, each person is different, but why does someone come to you? You know, um,
Oh,
I think there's probably plenty, but you probably have a few answers for that.
oh, I've got dozens of answers for that.
I can
Of course,
imagine.
there's always that underlying piece
Right.
around, on the surface, somebody wants to be better. So the
Right.
superficial part is somebody wants to be better. And then there are those people that are come that they don't, it's unconscious, want to get better on those deeper, kind of
Mhm.
more connected layers. But I am sent anything from people with, um, like I just had someone with encephalitis, which is inflammation of the brain. I had someone whose body would start with a pain on one side of her face and then create numbness through her entire body. I have people that come to me for low back pain. I have somebody who's come to me, a recent person who came to me that their their blood pressure is doing very weird things and um, and jumping back and forth. I do a lot of newborns getting the birth trauma off. I see lots of children for all reasons. Could be could be ear infections, could be hyperactivity, could be TMJ, somebody with TMJ. So the range for me, there is no end on the range. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, I find that pretty profound. I know for myself, but my own health issues, I literally had for my TBI, I had like half my body I had to relearn, and I remember needing that energetic work and not believing it at first. I'm like, and when it worked, it really works.
It does, especially if you're open to it. If you're
Yeah.
open to this, if you're
Oh, it
open
took a
to
little
it,
while. It took a little while, but a couple
I
years
bet.
there. But yeah,
I bet. No, I'm glad you're better. I'm so glad that it worked for you and that you're better.
I mean, I didn't necessarily get to your phase of what you're doing, but I'm saying I have an understanding of probably your work. I don't,
Right.
I didn't work with you directly, but I can imagine how much profound work you're doing for individuals and how many people that you're helping.
Well, I have to say, Damaris, it sounds like you worked with somebody wonderful too, because you're sitting here, you're in this consciousness. So, no, I mean, that's great. It's really,
I think everything is a process. Like, and we tell, and as I talk to people about it, I think everything is um, it's not linear, right? It's
no, it's not. No,
a,
it's not. It's
so.
definitely not linear.
I would love for you to talk more about how people can reach you and anything that's upcoming.
Fabulous. Okay, so people can reach us. I have a website at it's ankruminstitute.com,
I'll
and
have them
that's
in the show notes also.
great, great. And it's ankruminstitute.com, and then I also let me say this is that not only do we have a Facebook page at the same address, and we have a YouTube channel that has all sorts of little videos talking me talking about things that go on in your body, like what are the symptoms of having liver congestion, and what are the symptoms in the body. So there's lots of videos of different lengths of time. Some are a couple of minutes, some are 10 minutes, some are an hour. But there we have this whole YouTube channel at Ankrum Institute as well. So
Wonderful.
they can get on the Facebook page. They can do that. They can also email us through through the Facebook. I'm sorry. They can email us through my website,
Sure. Yeah.
both for I don't love to have people who are looking for an appointment come through the website, but if that's what they need to do, that's totally fine,
Yeah.
and we'll just get them to the right place.
Yeah. You'll
Because not only do I
direct
work
them
in
as
the
needed.
office, but yes, we'll direct them as needed. But the big thing we have, yay, 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 is for my school, the School of Functional Bodywork, is a 2-year, 2-month program. But we meet, the class meets 4 days every other month. So they'd meet January, February, March. So it isn't that they meet every month. It's 4 days every other month. Okay. And we begin the first module, of course, we begin, as I said, by learning the principles of the body. How does the body really function and work? And how does it work together? And then we start working our way. Each module builds on the next one, and we start working our way through the body from we do feet and ankles and knees, but we teach it in a way that's like blow your mind with, like seriously, like how the non-weight bearing bone of your lower leg has to do with your lymphatic system. How does that have to do with my immune system? So there's ways in which I'm teaching that really are very open and wide in what it is that I'm teaching. And then we work our way through the body. And when we get to the neck, after we get to the neck, module, which this is all on the website, I begin to teach organs. So I teach liver and stomach and intestines and pancreas and lungs and heart. And why do I do that as part of my training? Is because a huge percent, somewhere between 65 and 85% of the pain that you feel in your body is coming from an organ. So because that percentage is so high, how can I not give you that system to work when you're trying to help somebody back to health? So that in every one of my 14 modules, craniosacral therapy is also part of the module. So you learn about that the body part, and then you actually learn about, you get to do more craniosacral. So it's 2 years and 2 months, and it is, all about how the interrelationships are going on. Now, let me also say that I start mostly one training a year, so that we have, because right now we have two trainings going, and I'm going to start, weirdly enough, here it is, whatever the date is here, but I have a class that's starting October 6th of this year. So it's 4 days, it's Thursday through Sunday. And I have a class starting October 6th this year. And we actually have 2 slots left. That's all we've got left open on this class that's starting. And then next year, the class will start in April, but that's also on our website. So the new training, the training group that starts next year starts in April. So those are the big things that I have going on, is the beginnings of these two trainings, as
That's
we
excellent.
as we move along.
That's wonderful. I can't wait for, people to learn more about you and to like at least check out your YouTube channel. I'll put them in your show notes. I Is there another thought that you'd like to leave the audience before you go?
Um, no, let me leave with this thought is, and I mean this, is thank you to you for doing this and for being on a show like this that's sharing new ideas and new thoughts and new ways of looking at things. So really kudos to you for being someone who sits and who really does this and communicates and opens other people's eyes. I really want to say thank you to you for doing stuff like that.
Oh no,
So
I
that's what I'd
really
want to
I
share.
appreciate you being on. I mean, this is like a part of the equation, right? People need to learn more about individuals like yourself. So the conversation needs to come up because health is not a one size fits all. So I thank you.
Right. The one thing I will just put a little plug in for myself is
Oh,
that
absolutely.
people come from all over the country to come to my school. So I just want to say that it's not just about people who live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but
It's an
we have
online
people who
school,
are
correct?
coming
Or
from
people
all
come in
over.
person?
So, oh,
People come
oh
in
no, it's
person or is
in
it
person.
online? In person.
In
Okay.
in person. In person. I'm not a huge online teaching kind of person. So anyway, that's just me.
Well, you could also do an online component of this. I mean, not the full school, but at some point.
Good thought. Super thought.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But yes, I can't
Yeah.
wait for those to reach you. If not, thank you so much, and I really am glad you've been on.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right.
So thank you guys for listening in, and make sure you find a mindful way each and every day.